Hello, beautiful world. My name is Yasmeen, and I'm here to speak to sisters about the work that I do in my creative work as an artist and as a musician in my home, raising my children. And it has been asked of me, requested of me by other sisters in this world who are mamas who would like to find ways to work in their own creative space in the course of a day with their children. And because this is what I do on a day-to-day basis, I will share with you a little bit about how I am enabled to do that. Um, so, firstly, I want to speak about vision. It's the most important thing in the whole perspective that I try to live in. That helps me, that enables me to give meaning to my work and my life. Um, So the vision is the most important in cultivating where it is that you want to be in terms of your work in this world, how you see yourself being received in the world as an artist and a musician or whatever it is that you're cultivating in your artistic forces, and then to write in detail about that in a journal or so on and so forth, to cultivate that vision every night before you go to sleep or in the quiet times which you have during the day, to think on your own, you dream into the vision of your life. So, for instance, you could say, I want to be specifically in a certain place, in a certain home, in a certain space. This is my vision of how things would be working in the course of a day. These are the things that I would like to have around me. These are the kinds of people that I would like to feel a part of my life. And then you hold that vision strongly within yourself, and it makes sense of all the menial tasks during the course of a day that sometimes can be difficult to carry. It gives us greater patience and greater peace in the course of a day to know where we're going as our own vision dictates for ourselves. So I think I've heard from several different sisters that they feel they feel a little bit guilty about cultivating their creative forces or taking time for themselves during the course of a day. Women, subhanAllah, as mothers, we take care of children and we put all of our energy into the household and the childcare, and that requires so much of us. And it is important to recharge our battery and to give the time that we need to ourselves so that we can rejuvenate. And that actually really supports our children as well. If we can manage to organize our days so that we can find the time to do the things that are meaningful for us, then our lives are that much more full and we feel that much more fulfilled. And when our children do fly the nest, which does happen, then you have something that you have been cultivating for a long time that you feel strong in, you feel some confidence in, um, and that creates meaning for your life. And for your children's lives, subhanAllah, it's a real gift to hold that. So, like I said, the first step is to cultivate a vision, a dream of how you imagine your life to be. And I'll give you an example of my dream. I have a dream to live in a beautiful house on the ocean, a beautiful white house. I think about the laundry flying on the line, what kind of laundry linens I want to have. I think about the kind of dishes I would like to have. I think about the course of a day. I think about my prayers and my intentions. I think about um, even I've been helped to pursue this kind of vision dream through my time in a transition house for women. During that time, I spoke to a very dear friend, Tat Hargrave, who helped me cultivate vision for my life. And within a week of having had this vision, I had found a home after having been homeless with my 4 children for 6 months in this transition house. So it does seem to work. It seems like the universe really wants us to speak to it and say, this is my force, this is my will to live, this is my dream, this is what I hold for myself. And then things come to fruition because we have an intention, and the universe, the highest, Allah Azza wants that from us. It wants to give to us that which we seek, but we need to be very clear about and distinguish what it is that we need in even the most minute detail. And eventually what we're given is what we've been is what is chosen for us in terms of it may not be exactly as we envisioned it, but it's always in some way, shape or form fairly similar. And I can tell that there's a breathing of the universal all into my life through this vision, that there's purpose and meaning. So, as I said, Ted Hargrave helped me to cultivate that vision. I'm very grateful for him to have done that. Very grateful to him for having done that for me, and for my children. And then, yes, so part of the vision that I hold also includes having an evening, a soirée with the friends that I would like to have around me, how I would feel that they received my work in a positive way, how they, what kind of tea we would be drinking, what, even the cups and just the gentleness in the space inside my home, the light, the ambience, all of those things. And then, those kinds of vision, that kind of vision holds you instead, as I said, during the course of the days, which can be difficult in terms of the amount of work that goes into caring for your children and your loved ones and your household. After the vision is cultivated, everything makes sense. It makes a greater amount of sense for me. That's my experience. When I'm making soup, or when I'm doing dishes or laundry, all of those things are then imbued in the light of the vision that I hold, so that there's a trajectory, there's a path that I'm taking, there's a course of action that I am making, and so it makes sense of everything else, and gives it good intention, inshallah. Then after that vision, there is the organization of the week, the activities, the stream of the day, and so you create kind of a backbone by which you can hold strongly the children in a daily rhythm that supports them to achieve their best, inshallah, and helps them to gather their forces so that they can be as best that they can be. And that is basically, a very strong rhythm. So for me, for instance, that would mean that on any given day, I wake up earlier than the children. I wake up earlier than the children, and then I create. I will have already soaked some food yesterday for making breakfast in the morning. I soak nuts and seeds and grains, and then I make them into porridge, and in the morning the children have that. The house is always a little bit messy in the morning, and so I feed the children, get them ready for their day, and then I clean the house, and I have a very strong rhythm in the morning of cleaning the house. And then I will prepare the lunch, and I will prepare the dinner in advance, and the afternoon is free for me to do some painting, and I will have organized some daily activity. So Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays each have a different activity that we focus on during that day. And so that gives the children a sense of rhythm during the course of the week, and a sense of purpose, and it holds them instead. So they know, for instance, that on Mondays and Tuesdays is Mama's washing day, and they might help me to do the laundry, they might help me to clean different things. They really enjoy to be part of that activity, those activities. On another day, for instance, it's a day that we will work outside in the earth, in the gardens, and other days we might go for walks in the forest, or another day we might go for a walk by the water. And I tend to juxtapose the days with washing with times when we can be in nature by water. There's all these different elements that we share, and in our human nature, that and in the natural world, that then can be mirrored into the children's lives to give them greater meaning and purpose. Other days, for instance, I would do some musical activities with them, or so on and so forth. But the most important thing to note is that the amount of time that we spend with the children, it's not the amount, it's not how many hours I've done it, it's the amount of time and intention I've put into having that relationship with them, being very focused on them and cultivating that time. For instance, with a 3 to 4 year old child, that little child will need your attention a lot, and they will need you to be animating their world around them so that they feel held. And yes, because everything is inanimate until we make it animate with our intention. SubhanAllah. So if we are lethargic and we have no purpose and we don't feel very much will, then the world around us does not respond as positively as it would be if we had greater will. And with each time like this, SubhanAllah, with each intention that we build within ourselves, it's the same as the vision actually. The vision animates the life, and without the vision, the life stays kind of inanimate. And so the trajectory of life is imbued by the rosy glow of your vision, holding your dream vision as strongly as possible for the children and for yourself. And in this way, it creates harmony during the course of a week. So yes, with a 3 to 4 year old child, just being present with him, to play with him solidly for 20 minutes even. I sit down with my youngest, who is between 3 and 4 now, and I will play with him with his toys, and he will reciprocate and find inspiration from that play. And then I will be able to sit for maybe 45 minutes and do my painting. He might interrupt me a couple times, but then he will find his own play again, and then I might stop and play with him again for another solid period of time. And with each time that I spend with him, with each time that I spend really fully intention, focusing on my children, the more they feel held. And so sometimes, some days, I might spend only 1 hour of doing really serious, strong activities with the children, and getting them kind of on a course for the day, a positive course. And then I will have a great deal more time during the course of the day to do what it is that I need to do for my own work. And they are happy to play alongside of me, doing their own creative work. So this is kind of an example of how I manage my days with my children. If you would like to have more information from me, I'm here, and you can message me. I'm willing to share with you, and I know how difficult it can be, and I want to support other women to pursue their creative ambitions and to pursue their space that can rejuvenate themselves for the giving to their children that they do each day. Okay, lots of love to you, beautiful world. Salam, Yasmeen.